So guys, that was 3 out of 6 episodes for the Sexposed show, and I believe that is available on Amazon Prime in the UK, America and Japan. So exciting stuff, make sure you look out for that. And the next thing I want to say, I want to introduce the absolutely gorgeous, very sexy Michelle Thorne. Give her a big round of applause, guys! Secondly, I'd also like to thank the sponsors and everyone involved for making this happen, including Terry Stevens to my left. You, Kat, and all the producers involved in making Sexposed happen and highlighting everything within the porn industry. Moving on, I hope you've all got some burning questions tonight. The very sexy Michelle Thorne is here to answer any questions that you might have.
I hope.
Yeah. And also Terry Stevens as well, he's here, he's going to be answering your questions as well.
If the microphone works.
If the microphone works.
No, I'll speak out loud though.
Yeah, and again a big thank you to all the sponsors, and I'm going to pass you over into the very good hands of Terry and Michelle. Raise your hands for these two sexy people.
Hello, hello, hello.
So has anybody got any questions at all about what you've seen? No. Oh, hello. Yes. What would you like to say?
If I was a genie and I had a magic lantern and I could give you 3 wishes from going on from here, what would you wish for?
God. God. How do you answer that? I don't know. I would probably wish that people had different views on the whole porn industry, because like once you've done porn, it's like you've killed somebody and you cannot do anything else apart from that, because nobody will take you seriously, nobody wants to accept you into any other career, especially going back into singing again, which is what I did for quite a long time. So I did that from the age of 15 to 24 actually. So, but they won't accept you back into that industry, it just will not take you seriously. So that would be one of the wishes. Second wish, can I have a ridiculous amount of money, please? And can I also never age?
Oh, the last 2 you've lost now.
That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah. Is there any other questions at all? Or?
Yes, I've got one.
Oh, yeah, hello.
You
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Hello. How are you? You all right?
I'm all right, babe. Not seen
Yeah.
this. I was watching.
I'll get on with it.
All right.
Oh, go on then.
And you said on there, in the early part of your career, and you were sort of taking glamour pictures of one thing and another,
Yeah.
and then you sort of made it onto television and stuff like that. And then there was a point in it where they, what can I call it, the paparazzi have a stab at you and sort of saying, Michelle Thorne's a porn star and all the rest of it. Do you reckon that's a downside of the British people? Just thinking, trying to push you in the gutter? Was that?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, for some reason, once you've done porn, it makes you like a bit of dirt, and especially I've got children now, and I've got an older child that's like 12, and they have problems at school sometimes where people have Googled stuff. I mean, I try and protect, as she does, I try to protect her as much as I can, but people have Googled stuff and they will pick on her, and it's like I have done something absolutely awful, you know, and I've had other moments go, yeah, but it's okay because, you know, you've done the best for your children and at least you've got a roof above your head. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I've been really successful in my career. I mean, why are you talking to me like I'm, you know, it's like you've done something absolutely awful. So that is a massive downside.
Yeah. Do you not think that because you've got a lovely voice, haven't you? I mean, we've all heard it proper, but do you not think just singing would get you? I mean, it's sort of like if you were on the radio and they didn't know who Michelle Thorne was.
I could get back into singing, but I'd have to start at the bottom probably again. But people don't take you seriously in that sort of thing anymore. Once you've done.
Change your name.
I'm trying. No, I'm going.
You couldn't change your looks, could you?
I wouldn't change my name. And,
no, to go on radio.
What I'm going to do probably is just try and incorporate it and do it full on with involving my whole career, as in put it on Twitter, the fact that I am going to do this singing, and there's no point hiding from it anymore, because when I've tried to hide from it once, and look where it got me.
Well, I want you to the industry you're in it, haven't you?
Stuffed.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hello. So, like, most porn is actually made by consenting individuals or consenting adults for their own enjoyment, or they provide it on webcam sites or something like that. And that's quite a low-key aspect of porn, but it does make up the majority of it. I wondered if you could comment on consent in industry, like with agencies and things like that. Like, what have your experiences been regarding? So there's like, is consent an important part of the process? Has it become more important?
Consenting? Do you mean consenting to do the scene?
More sort of enthusiastic consent.
Enthusiastic consent.
What's that?
I'm confused.
Yeah. Where are you coming from?
Confused.
We ring them up, we're enthusiastic, we're running there to the studio.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah,
well,
we are. We're
look,
actually literally, we're the ones chasing,
But-
we're chasing the producer.
but I will say this, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you might not feel like you wanna do that thing, you wanna have sex, but it's acting as well. I mean, I'm sure there's days when the people from EastEnders turn up and they think, I really don't want to do this today. I don't want to pretend that I'm a murderer. I don't want to do this. But like, they still get on and do it, and it is acting. It is,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you have an absolutely fantastic time and an orgasm all over the place. But like, sometimes you might think, oh no, I'm not feeling it today. But you go along and you act, and you get paid to act. So does that answer it?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Being
Okay.
professional.
Oh, hello. You. It's you again.
It's
Well,
the official stalker, don't you?
Well, as an actor and owning a live music agency, I've got the idea for you. The Greatest Showman, smashing box office records all over the world.
Yeah.
50 million hits on This Is Me.
Oh, hello. Did you just break wind?
Yeah. The obvious thing is to do. There's a niche there for porn musicals.
Oh, well, did you ever see the Porn the Musical?
No.
Oh, I was in it.
Well, make some
I was
more.
in it.
Make some more, because
Yeah, no.
musicals are back.
Well, it wasn't me that produced that, but yes, we definitely need to do that.
Yeah,
That is a actually, do you know what? That's a fantastic
Oh, no, I
idea.
know it is. That's why I said it.
There are some actors and actresses that have got fantastic voices, and also have got some really good talents, as in can play piano and that.
Yeah, because the thing that's happening over the pond in America
Yeah.
is they're doing proper storyline porn. They're
Yeah.
doing big budget porn. So if you did a musical porn with a storyline
We've
like
got
The
no
Greatest
big
Showman-
budget though.
No, but you don't.
I'll tell you what, we'll have to do it. We'll have to do it just with GoPro. Is that okay?
Yeah, you could do
Most of the
it.
stuff now is filmed with GoPros, isn't it? Come on.
Look, a film's just come out filmed on Super 7. And I said
GoPros
that-
are on your phone.
Look,
Done,
yeah,
dusted.
look,
Drop shrunk,
there's a
all
major
that.
film on release now that's been filmed on an i7 phone.
Has anybody got any questions for Terry?
For Terry?
Yeah.
Oh, I've
You
got-
get in the business, Rob.
Yes,
That's why
yes.
I bring him up every 5 minutes. I've always got a question for Terry.
I have a question for Terry. One of the things that I was actually slightly disappointed about was the usage of word of bankability for the awards. I felt as though that took away the credibility of what the awards stood for, and I don't know if this was taken out of context slightly, but I understand that people's perceptions of a social online presence, but surely the awards are there, recognisable for the efforts that's been achieved rather than the bankability.
You're quite right. That was a very good question, actually. No, I wasn't taken out of context, because let's not kid ourselves. Without money, we wouldn't be making any business, so money is important to us. It's not the be-all and end-all, but let's not kid ourselves. We make a living out of this. So we get paid, the performers get paid. Ultimately, this business is about work. So bankability is important as well.
But surely that shouldn't take away the credibility of what the award means as a recognition.
No, you're quite right. No, and for me, like I said, my philosophy was the awards is really to celebrate the industry, first and foremost. I mean, I use the word bankability because it appeals to most people. People need a motive for why we do what we do. We're not here just to, I mean, some of us might be in this business for fun, but in order for you to move forward, you need to make money. And some of the girls are bankable in terms of they are worth more on a market level. From a business point of view, we have to look at things logically. So that's my answer to that.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for me and Deb?
I have a question for you.
Oh yeah. Oh no. What is it?
Okay.
So I don't know. I've got a wonky one.
So the things that you were saying in your episode are I know that they will resonate a lot with other people within the industry and the general public itself. But one of the things that you said, that even Ben Dover said, that this is who he is, this is all he's got.
Yeah.
I don't feel as though you came across that you are ashamed of what you've done. I think you're very proud of what you've done, but it gave you a stoppage point for the passion that you had for singing. What are you going to do about it? Because I know you've got so much energy, you're so passionate about singing. Surely, just because of the industry itself doesn't mean that is the end of your talent.
Unless there's an adult singing thing. If you start singing and become popular, or somebody gives you a record deal, or you've got an X Factor, or whatever, then children are going to start to be Googling your name. And because of the internet now, they're going to be getting up all sorts of other stuff. So it's really hard, because it's like you've almost murdered somebody, I think, when you've done porn. You just don't seem to be able to move out of this. God, there's a ghost who didn't like me saying that. Yeah, but you don't seem to be able to move on. You don't seem to be able to move on from it.
But who are these people who push it that way?
Yeah.
There's a huge stigma around the porn industry and the actors like yourself. Are there any support networks for you guys to go to help you with that, from all the negativity?
I mean, the only support network I use is Terry, really. Poor old Terry. He gets phone calls and...
Font of all knowledge.
That's Terry,
Terry and probably my parents. And there is, but apart from that, there's no support networks.
There's not like a body, like a company, an external body?
No, there's not.
No, there's nothing.
It's literally just us, ourselves and I, and all of you which are with us in the industry right now, that are our actual close, loving network. When we get lost at any point, we ring our best mates which are in the industry. And I'm sorry, the cyberbullying has got beyond a joke. I mean, I even have to stick up for my own fans, for silly people just bullying them. And I
just block them.
I do block them. I block them and I report them, but I still have to apologise to my fan for some other dickhead. You know what I mean? And it gets stupid, doesn't it, babe? And when we do have a low point, like even we're normal people.
I've got to be honest with you. That sort of thing doesn't necessarily. For some reason,
but we've had a problem at home.
It doesn't necessarily bother me, just because I've had. It doesn't bother me. But I literally just block that.
Yeah, but you stop in your track, you have to
apologise.
But problems at home, babe, when we have problems at home, we contact, obviously, our mum and dad, because my mum and dad support me.
I mean, I had 100%. People saying to me, when all that stuff got into the papers about my ex, with the knife attack, I had some really awful people that were proper trolls saying that, they would have stabbed me, and why didn't you kill her? And what they don't understand is there was children there that were threatened to be killed as well. And I tried to ignore. I actually didn't look at it. Some of the whole thing with the, social media, because I know that people can be really, really horrible. I mean, I was looking at something the other day and somebody called me a moose pig.
The most beautiful moose pig I've ever seen.
What moose pig is?
Sorry, baby, the most beautiful moose pig I've ever seen.
I actually laughed at it though, because I thought it was so ridiculous. It was so silly. Has anybody else got any other questions? Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent.
Can I add to that? There are actually support networks out there, but this is where the difficulty is that as the adult industry to the sex work community is very divided, because people's perception of what adult and escort, and I say escort because that's how the porn industry understands the terminologies of sex work. So there are many support groups out there, but because the identity is very lost of well, I'm a porn performer, not a sex worker, that's why you wouldn't necessarily find that information in groups, because of that divide of separation of what the term is.
There's a few different groups as well, because there are high-class escorts, there's porn stars, and then you've got the people that actually street walk. They're probably people that, I don't mean to be rude, but they're probably people that are.
But you've got strippers and pole dancers who are in equity now.
Strippers, pole dancers,
they're in equity.
Cam girls, everybody that works in sex is umbrellaed under the terminology of sex work.
All put in the same boat.
So if you put in sex work communities, you'll find lots of support, and it's places like this that finally get that understanding of what those are and who they are,
but some people won't want to be put in the same boat as that. That's the
That's
problem,
why you won't find them unless you look under that term. But there are lots. There's lots.
It's like what I want a minute. I don't do that.
We're all one family.
And the Facebook are amazing because they give you all the different information.
Michelle.
Areas, what hotels you use.
I've got a fun question for you.
Oh yes.
So there are there.
If there was a biopic being made about you, who would you like to star as you in the movie? Biopic, you know, a major motion picture.
Biopic.
Me with small tits. Me with small tits.
Americanism.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, like Meryl Streep. Would you get Meryl Streep to play Michelle Thorne in a
you
biopic?
mean like a documentary that people are playing me?
No, a proper feature film.
A feature film?
Yeah.
People are playing me?
Of your movie, of your life.
Who would I get to play me?
Margot Robbie.
Oh my god.
Margot.
I don't know.
She hasn't got the tits.
It doesn't matter, she's so beautiful.
Who knows?
Wesley Snipes. Just joking.
Who knows? That is a really weird question, actually.
Well, that's why I threw it at you.
I think it'd be good.
I thought it'd be fun.
But I would play me myself.
No, you've got to get someone to play you.
Play with me or?
Yeah, if you like.
Answer that question.
I have a question.
I
I saw the little snippet of the song that you have. Do you have anything lined up in the future for producing an album?
That little snippet that. Terry?
Yes.
Naughty boy, smacky bottoms later. I wrote it myself.
I pulled it out.
I wrote that myself. So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to be putting it on. I've got it on a YouTube channel and just.
Would you be deciding to create an album?
Well, I don't think. The only thing I can do.
That's not really worth it because everybody just streams what songs they want to listen
exactly.
to. They don't stream an album. They stream songs.
I am going to do at the moment is just create a YouTube channel, and then there's quite a few songs that I've written and sort of had recorded and stuff, and I'm going to do little music videos to go with them and put them on this YouTube channel. Plus, and then just.
Well, that's where Adele came from.
And then just see how it goes. I mean, it doesn't matter if nothing comes of it. At least I've done something with it, because that was where I felt like I just kind of wasn't doing anything with that side of things. But,
Would you consider theatre?
Sorry?
Would you consider theatre?
Theatre, I mean, I'd love to do theatre.
What about the sex workers opera?
I've been talking to her about the sex workers opera. We're going to talk more about that.
Show your jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands, not your teats, for fuck's sake. Come away.
Joking.
I've got a question.
No, that's where I came from, was theatre, so yeah.
Michelle,
Yeah.
have you ever had any problem with radical feminists?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, don't, here we go.
This is that whole thing with, yes. Massive problems. So basically, the women that are saying that they are supposed feminists are women that are stopping people from being able to
be happy and proud of themselves and being
show
proud
their
of who they are.
sexuality and.
For want of a better word, they're not allowing women to have proper autonomy.
They're not.
Yeah, and being proud of ourselves and
they're
saying
not
we are who we
you.
are, we're
They're
in
not.
charge, not you.
Yes, they have stopped people from having jobs. They've stopped
Grid girls.
good girls. They're doing like grid.
The grid girls.
The grid girls. That's it. They've stopped them from having jobs. And it's crazy, and then they're probably pushing them into harder stuff, to be honest. But yes, they're. It really, really actually annoys me. That's probably why I can't talk properly right now. But it really does my head in because it's.
if you think about it, the countries where they get people to cover up are the countries where women are repressed the most. So I just don't get it. How it is stopping people from doing the jobs that they want to do. It's their body. If they want to be a complete slut, it's completely up to them, which is what feminism is supposed to be about, is being able to do what you want with your body. Not having these people coming along and saying, right, that's it, you can't do that now.
With that in mind, would you consider being an ambassador for the adult industry for others?
What about now?
Not tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight it's all hands
You
off.
lean on your partner,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah,
Hello, darling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, did you want to put your hand up?
With me?
Hand up.
I beg your pardon. Is that you or me? What, whole hand? I don't know. I think it's you.
This is a very sensitive question, but I'm very...
Hang on. Oh, go on.
April's heading at the back. When it going back to the feminist thing, I mean, I've
Oh,
gone to
God,
the
no.
and spat at these girls. We've watched them be marched off. I mean,
But if you want, if
no, we've watched them be marched off. I mean,
Yeah.
where do we get to the point where anybody realises that that's not feminism? You know what I mean?
it's not feminism, because
No,
it's up to
if
us
you're
what we
spitting
do
at
with our
me,
bodies.
You're spitting at me, saying that we need to stand up, saying don't do what you're doing because we're being exploited. When I'm not being exploited, mate. You're not trying to exploit me. Good luck to you.
It's basically up to that. I understand the exploitation with people that are being obviously kidnapped and forced into like sex.
Whole
Being a
different
sex
fucking
worker. That's
story.
completely different. But like, if you have chosen to do a certain thing, you shouldn't be stopped from doing that. And why are grid girls being stopped? Because like, you know, you're allowed to have butlers in the buff. How about them? That's exploitation on men, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I just,
Only when I slap their ass and turn the spit of it.
Exploitation of men.
Yes.
Yeah! Whoa, whoa!
Bastards.
Where do you want to start?
By profession.
Exploitation of men.
Yeah.
Exactly, it is exploitation of men because, yes, like you said, Terry, I've said that before.
And the men don't have gender pay equality.
The men are the ones who are paying for it, and we can use our sexuality to get that money out of those men. And it is a power. It is a power.
Oh, we've known about it for years, mate.
For a woman, you put on that certain outfit, you know, if somebody's, put it this way, even with a boyfriend, if you know they're annoyed with you, you go upstairs, you get changed, you put on a certain outfit, you come down and go, and even if you act snooty, they're like that, oh, should we make up?
We're all led by it, mate. It's
Yeah.
true.
It's true though, isn't it? They, unfortunately, all men are controlled by their cocks.
This is true.
Unfortunately, for
Because
us
we're
women,
hunter-gatherers.
They've got the name
I can't
joystick
talk
from.
because I'm controlled by my pussy, so.
Can I ask
we can completely control them.
Can I ask a serious, sensitive question?
Yes.
Okay, you said your daughter's 12.
Yeah.
When she gets of age of 18, she announced she wants to go into the industry as well. How
No,
would you
would
feel?
never.
There you
Never.
go.
No, I
Why?
said that.
Can
I said
may
that.
I ask why though?
No, I
Who
don't
want-
think it's a fair question.
Who wants their child to be in the adult industry? And if I could have gone back in time, I actually wouldn't have probably. I know it sounds awful now, but I wouldn't have gone into it. I don't think. But then again, I think everything happens for a reason, and so everything you do creates things.
Have you
that
got
happen
have you
to
got a
you.
boy as well?
I've got two
What about
girls.
if they said they wanted to go into it?
I would do everything I could to stop them.
No, I'm not trying to catch you up. I'm just very interested in what you think.
I am being
No
completely honest.
no woman knows at 18 doesn't know how to actually make love and show that on film. I'm sorry, you can't. At 18, I don't believe you can ever know how to show.
No, it's not
love
about
and
that.
sex.
It's about the principle I'm talking about, not about that.
Oh God, I have still got
Yeah.
a massive principles,
Yeah.
but the
I
thing
know
is-
it's a hard question.
The thing is with me, I actually got off from being filmed with all the people that I was in relationships with, and that was actually a form of foreplay for
Yeah.
me. I used to get them to film me and do pictures of me, and that actually got me off. And so I think that's how it progressed into, Oh.
So
Oh,
would you say that you're a victim of your own desires then?
I am a victim of my own desires, I've got to be honest. It is true. I did it because I got off on it. And the first shoot I ever did, where I showed, like professional shoot, where I showed everything, I actually masturbated in the car on the way home. I was that turned on. I was so turned on.
While driving?
Yes.
Oh, that gear stick.
Yes.
I hope you're wearing a seatbelt.
Oh, I got it.
I proved in my pants before I got to the shoot.
Do you think that if the stigma behind it wasn't there, would you allow your daughters to do it then?
Who wants to see their children do stuff like that? I mean, come on, nobody does. It's like saying, oh, do you want to see your mum and dad having sex?
No, it's the same way for our mum and dad are looking at us. At the end of the day, I don't have kids. I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not that lucky to be able to have kids. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, if it was my kid, I would support them 100% and make sure they were protected because I know that much about the industry.
If it was something that she went into and I had no control over.
That's what they want to do and follow my mum, I would let them do it. But as long as I protect them, you know what I mean? That's where I'd be standing at. But no, I don't believe it. You know, to be also, I would want to push them to do more acting or singing. You know, I'd push them to be the bigger. You know, the thing that I wanted to be and what I could have been. No. Because I can sing, I can act, and that's where I started. But, you know, I was never good enough to do that, but I was good enough to do porn.
Can I just add on that? Because I've done a lot of interviews as not a representative, but a solo voice within sex work, within escorting. And I often get the question asked to me about my daughter. She's 17 years old. And I could never be the hypocrite in the sense, not saying that you are, but not in the sense of saying what she can and can't do. One of the things that I would do is that if she were to choose to go down that route, I personally would ensure that she was doing it the most safe and professional way possible. We both know that the way that we dealt with our lives is from our own experiences. And knowing that you masturbated in the car after that shoot was a personal pleasure, would you suppress your daughter from doing that if she really wanted to?
God, I obviously...
Can I roll that question on as well?
I mean, who wants it? But if it was something that she'd already done,
that's the part of my question.
And if it's something that she'd already done and I'd already started it without my knowledge, then.
Because you said you created a rift in your family because of what you were doing.
Yes.
So
I didn't create a rift.
No, but what I was trying to pick up on.
Close to my
let's
family,
say
but they don't like it.
She has gone away and she's made a film and you find out about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you not go down the same path as your parents? You would still stay loyal and still love your daughter and say, look, that's okay.
Of course I would.
That's what I'm trying to get at, you know, because you learn from your experience.
That's what my mum and dad did as well. They were always, you know, there for me. They're fantastic, my family. They just didn't like it.
No.
You know, who does really? But if they were to do that, then I would help them to do it in the safest and best way possible.
So you would say, right, you've done that, right, now let's put controls in, let's discuss it, let's get it professional.
Yes.
Yeah, good for you.
Say something about you, Michelle. Do I have permission to say something about you?
What would you want to say?
I want to say just how you're an anomaly.
What's that?
I was just going to make a personal
statement. A one-off.
Just how wonderful you actually are, because as a female representative, which you are, without maybe you knowing that, as a female representative for the adult industry, you are an accreditation. You are an inspired person, not only of strength, but just because you felt it all the way through, and it's been a delight to watch you. It's been a delight to get to know you, and I hope that your knowledge can benefit others in the right way in the future. And
on your radio show.
I would love to have you on my radio show. Really would. You're welcome.
You're a star.
I didn't finish yet. The reason why I say you're an anomaly is because I met your parents. As you know, I was the one that videoed her wedding. The interesting thing was...
You naughty boy.
Yeah, the interesting thing was... your parents are very conservative. You come from a very middle-class background. You had a very good upbringing. It's like you don't fit the stereotype.
Don't you take that
There is no stereotype.
That is media driven. Absolute load of bollocks.
I got off on it. That was the main reason.
Political correctness. There is no political correctness in this room. Remove that
You
statement.
know what the stereotype
My
is.
tolerance
That
became my job.
stereotype
That
is
was the
media
problem.
driven. It
Right,
is
yeah,
not
okay.
accurate
What is the media
whatsoever.
driven stereotype?
Do you want to come and sit down for a while?
Somebody that's addicted,
Come and sit here.
addicted to drugs
Pull that
on
down
the
and come
streets,
sit
doing
down.
porn for
Right.
money. That's
Okay,
not
but
stereotypical.
No, I know, exactly, but she's not that.
Yeah, I'm so nice to you, my love. And I hope you, because I think you're fucking awesome. I really do. And I want to do something new that is